All right, gang. Kevin Smoot here. I am sorry I can't be in Duck Creek hanging out with you guys this year. Wanted to, just didn't work out with my plans. I am up in Canada hanging out and having a good old time with my family. But I did want to take the opportunity to kind of quickly do a year in review of what I thought were some of the good things that we did in the Freshman Academy, and then a couple of things that are on the horizon. It's the fourth or fifth year that I've worked with the team of Megan Hoxma, Vigene Thompson, Mindy Geis, and Brandy Wright. Our new addition this year was Stacy Rogers, which is she did an amazing job, in my opinion, and added quite a bit to the Freshman Academy team, or the Room F team, or whatever our team name is. All right, year in review. Again, great team, fun to work with. Our goals included help build a community and to help retain the students, which I think we did a pretty good job of. We continue to help with writing, electronics, organizing, reading, critical thinking, and collaboration. We worked hand in hand with the counselors this year, so kids understood their GPA, how to read their transcripts, and then also their options, what their options would be after high school. So that was something we worked on it a little bit 2 years ago, but we did a better job this year, I thought, of working with the counselors. We enhanced the use of public speaking, and also used Google Drive quite a bit, which is pretty cool because in 2014 when we were in Duck Creek, these were a couple of our goals. A couple of our goals were to work on our public speaking and to use Google Drive, so I think we hit those goals and did a great job with that. Field trip wise, we took more field trips than last year, but we do have room to improve on that. We went bowling again in January. It's always a favorite with the kids, and we did go to UNLV, but we missed CSN again, and I think it'll be cool with having three teams to sit down with all three teams, come up with 4 or 5 nice little events, and have all three teams partake if the students want to. So looking forward to next year. All right, let's quickly talk about some of these highlights a little bit more in detail. Again, we have a positive community in our Room F team, our freshman team. We used unique learning devices to kind of to help with that. Again, we teamed up with the counselors, which is pretty good. I think a couple of things that help with our positive community is working with our own teachers. So most of the time our students have us as teachers. This year that's going to be a little bit different with the 3 teams and 9th and 10th grade being kind of mixed. So it'll be interesting to see if that hurts our relationships with the students. Again, having a strong relationship with our students, mainly because they're the ones that we teach, has been a positive the last 3 or 4 years. So it'll be interesting to see how this works. Another positive that we did in the Freshman Academy is promote social events. Did a great job of trying to get the 9th graders out to dances, prom rallies, the prom, the choir, so on and so forth. An added bonus is having Mindy in our classroom because she is part of student council and kind of helps out with that. So I don't foresee anything changing. We'll continue to promote these social events and try to get as many of our freshmen, or I guess freshmen and sophomores, out there. Continue with the field trips again. Continue going bowling, UNLV, CSN, and then maybe work in 1 or 2 more field trips. I think it'll be nice to get all 3 classrooms working together and coming up with some cool stuff for these kids to do. All right, unique learning devices. We continued with philosophical chairs, Socratic seminars, Google Drive, and did a great job, I thought, with having the kids public speak. They don't necessarily like it, but if you see how they went from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, I think majority of them became better public speakers. So philosophical chairs, Socratic seminars, good for collaboration, good for public speaking. Thought we did a pretty good job with those. Used Google Drive a lot. We use Google Documents and Google Slides. Why is that important? I mean, if you don't know, Google Documents is very similar to Word, to Microsoft Word. It's easy to use. You can access it from multiple devices. It's easy to share. It's easy to collaborate. Personally, I think it's really easy to take notes in. The Google Slides is, again, it's similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. It's easy to use. You can have access to multiple devices. You can share it. You can collaborate it. It's pretty cool. We're looking to incorporate more of Google Forms. Google Forms can be used to poll the students. It's good for collecting data for assignments, feedback, evaluations, contact info. We do use Google Forms in the beginning of the year to get everybody's contact info, which does help get numbers that actually work, phone numbers that actually work, or a parent's email. So that's a great thing. But again, we worked extremely hard on the Google Documents and the Google Slides, but I think this year one of our goals would probably be to use Google Forms a little bit more. As far as public speaking, we did a great job on that. We continued with the 4 C's of 21st century learning. 4 C's include collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and being creative. And we did that. The kids did multiple Google slide assignments throughout the year, and then actually presented them to the class. Sometimes they worked in groups, sometimes they did it individually. But one of the things that we talked about is working on using the Google Forms, or Brandy Wright uses Pear Deck a lot, which it's just like a good polling. It helps the students poll, or you can poll the students. You can get a lot of feedback from them, and it's good for somebody that has great ideas but might not necessarily want to publicly put them out there. So if you allow them to kind of maybe type them out and you put them on a screen and get the conversation going that way, then they'd be maybe more apt to open up and join the conversation. So again, don't want to beat a dead horse here. We can talk about that more as the year goes on. But so yeah, continue with public speaking. And whoa, hey now, slow down. On the horizon, we talked about it, a couple of different forms of public speaking. Adding the Google Forms to this, or maybe the Pear Deck or the Today's Meet. And then also we need to work on end of course exams. It's my humble opinion that we need to improve on those. I think I taught the test taking lesson at the end of the year, and there was a lot of students that were fearful of these end of course exams. I think we just need to do a better job right in the beginning of the school year to try to get these guys thinking positive about the end of course exams and helping them in however we can to pass them. And then also on the horizon is just talk about note taking a little bit. We used Cornell Notes in the past. I personally have gone away from it just because I don't think it's the only way to take notes. So maybe as a group, a 3-team group, we can talk about if we're going to take notes, how's that going to look. And then scaffolding assignments. This is just a personal thing. I think it helps the students. I've pretty much have about 95% of my assignments scaffolded, and they can go directly into the gradebook and get all the information and everything through there, because you will find it is they don't like to navigate too much. They want it all right there. And my attitude was kind of like, well, my attitude originally was, well, too bad, put the hard work in and you'll do great in my class. But the students weren't necessarily doing that well, so I said, you know what, I'll just do what they want, and I put the assignments right into the gradebook, and it seemed to work this year. And if you have any questions, save them, and you can ask me when I get back from vacation.